I came out, I was 32-ish, so I was really wrestling with a lot of stuff. I had been feeling guilty about a lot of the things that I had tried to do to continue to be okay and not have to worry about who I was. And at that time, that sense of guilt was starting to catch up with me. I'm getting so many messages right now, I literally can't keep up with them. For every one I answer, I think I get 10 or 20 more. And they're all pretty much the same thing of people saying, well, I have a very similar story, or, thank you so much. I didn't even know that this would be possible. It's not necessarily people ready to come back to church, and I don't want to rush that for them. They have to continue their own journey. But people who are just like, this gives me a moment of hope. I grew up in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, and my family was part of a fairly conservative form of Baptist. We were a small school. I think my graduating class had 21, 22 people in it. I've been in Philadelphia for 10 or 11 years, and in Fishtown for, I think now, about 6. So I ended up in Philadelphia after my divorce, and then I was doing some soul searching about my place in the church. This church is amazing. So we're 126 now. And so this building has seen a lot, and the community through time has seen quite a bit and gone through a lot of changes. It's a place to meet, it's a place to gather. It's a beautiful community of people. I think a lot of them, if not all of them, have in one way or another been hurt by the church and has kind of found themselves together here in this space, and the kind of healing that they're looking for, and that struggle to remain faithful, to remain Christian, when the institution that you love has also been an institution of hurt. This is one of the original photographs of the church. So that's probably late 1800s. There is a form of prayer that we have been using at Atonement for a couple of years. It's called the Examine. It's a discernment prayer, and it's also partly a guided meditation. The guide at one point says, "Come home to yourself." And I always used to hear that, and I would think that's a really nice sentiment, but I have no idea what that means. But I had also been experiencing myself a kind of disconnect. I was feeling inadequate, not quite myself. I would suggest self-care, self-love for everyone. I mean, when he's asked what are the greatest commandments, and he says to love God and to love your neighbor as yourself, there is an implied sense of self-care in that. If you don't know how to treat yourself, how are you going to treat your neighbor? This is what it means to come home to yourself. This is what it means to reconnect with who you are, and especially for me, the things I feel called to be.